wind up my clock. I'll wind up your clock. I'm gonna get wound up. Gotta get wound up. This is the wind button. It's not a button, it's a gear. I'm pulling it backwards. There's resistance. I'm pulling it backwards. So I'm like winding this thing up. This mysterious machine that I have. A series of gears. This gear this is the furthest gear back. And this is the closest gear. This is the furthest gear. I'm winding this gear backwards. Well, forwards, I guess, but there's resistance. Okay, I'm winding it up good and proper. Now it's just going to tick for a while, for a long time. It just ticks away. And then if you want to measure increments of tickage, you just pull on the doohickey and lift the gizmo over here, and then it starts counting out intervals. You see we have these little grooves in this gear right here. What's up, Phil? Yeah, it's pretty interesting. And see that when the gizmo goes in the groove, it stops. That's the end of that interval. It keeps on ticking, but this thing has stopped. But then you pull on the doohickey to lift it up, and then it goes for another interval until it hits the next little groove in the thingamajigger. The gear. Why is it so hard to focus? All right. But so I don't know what these intervals are significant of. I mean, because they're all different lengths before it hits the groove. Like there's several different intervals that are all different lengths. Some of them are short, some of them are long. But you just got to pull the doohickey and let it tick away. And then as long as this little flywheel is spinning here, it's weird. It doesn't look like it's spinning that much in the camera, but this thing's spinning so fast I can't see it with my naked eye. But the camera's not picking it up the way I'm seeing it. It's so bizarre. This part right here is moving so fast I can't. It's just a blur for my naked eye. But right now in the camera I can see it. It's fucking weird. Why does it? It's like a helicopter blade. Oh, now it stopped. Oh, the doohickey. Oh yeah, I gotta pull on the doohickey, and then the gizmo comes up, and then the thingamajigger keeps spinning. It's counting out different time intervals. It's almost like this thing was a clock. It's free energy. I mean, it's like there's no battery power right now. It's just all gears that have been wound up, and you know, this whole mechanism is turning on its own based on the tension that was created from me winding it up. I mean, as long as there's like a turbine turning, you got free energy, right? I mean, what's the real deal here? Like, why can't we just turn these gears into turbines of sorts, you know? Because as long as you got some motion, you have energy. And if it's coming at no cost, then it's free energy. All I had to do was wind back this gear, and now all this stuff is moving around for periods of time. You know, I got to lift the doohickey, but that's just the thing's still spinning. I mean, if I just didn't have these grooves here, I mean, it would just spin. And I'm just saying, it's like it's free energy, really, because if as long as something's moving and there was no effort that was put into it, like yeah, I had to wind back the gear, but that was only for like a minute tops, and then it ticks for a long time. It'll go for a while. I mean, so it's free energy because these things could just as easily be turbines turning, and you know, because that's how they get electricity through hydroelectric. You know, they just have turbines. Like I had this idea a long time ago. They probably already done this by now, but where like all the municipal water supply in the city, you know, they could have every pipe that has water running through it all day, you know. They could have turbines in all the water pipes that are constantly, where the water is constantly flowing all day through all these different places in the city, and they could be gathering free energy from all that motion. Anywhere there's motion that's happening and it doesn't involve anybody working to create the motion, it's free energy. My friend set up hydroelectric on his property. He had a little creek, and he had more electricity than he knew what to do with. It was overflowing. It was just like he didn't know what to do with all of it. And he was trying to, he'd get batteries and he tried to store it and convert it and whatever, but it was just like too much work. He was just like, just too much electricity coming off this thing. He didn't know what to do with it all. I found that to be interesting. It's like, so hydroelectric really is it's a pretty efficient way of gathering energy for free. I mean, as long as you have a creek that's flowing, you got free energy. So I don't know what people talk about, why there's like, oh, there's no such thing as free energy. Well, sure there is. What are you talking about? The sun is a big ball of energy. It's just shining down on us, it's providing all kinds of free energy. It's right there. Boom. Big ball of energy. Who put it there? I don't know. God? That's the only answer I got. God set the wheels in motion. I'm the god of this clock. Oh, the doohickey. Pull the doohickey. Set the wheels in motion. Oh, this is a short interval. That's the shortest one there is. And then there's a 2-tick interval, and then a 3-tick interval. It does go up like gradually, but what is the significance of the intervals? Like, why? I don't remember that ever being part of a clock where it's like, I mean, what does that mean? What is that for? I can't figure that part out. Why would there be little breaks like that? I mean, what? That doesn't make sense. I can't figure out how that applied to the clock. It's like a little stopwatch or something. Stop watching the clock. Stopwatch. You gotta stop watching the stopwatch. Start stopping the stopwatch. Yeah, stop starting the stopwatch. Stop starting the stopwatch and stop staring at the stopwatch. Stop watching the stop clock. Stop watching the stop clock. Whatever. We got free energy over here too. Look, we got a little fountain, a solar powered fountain. It's just spewing out water, free of charge. It's cute. The bees come and drink out of it, and the birds come and bathe in it and drink. Can't go wrong with free energy. Could be a timer, but these old clocks, they don't really have timers on them. I mean, it's like an old clock that had like it's like a old school clock. I just took the rest of it off and threw it away, and I just wanted to keep the gears and play with it. I like taking things apart and trying to figure out what makes it work. I mean, it wasn't electric, it's like anything electric is going to have like magnets and copper in it. That's why I like taking apart electrical things so you can get all the magnets and all the copper out of it. Magnets and copper. It seems like discovering electricity, or like how to harness it, and like by using magnets and copper, and I mean that would have taken so long for people to figure out. Sometimes I think that like a lot of our tech that we take for granted, or stuff that we have nowadays, we know how to make it happen, but to have discovered it in the first place is what the pure genius is. And like it almost seems like we had to have had some help or something. Like I trip on our society. It seems like we're such immature, like a collective mentality as a whole. Like, yeah, I'm sure we've been dumbed down, and we've lost a lot of our inherent abilities, but I think it's just like, really, it seems like we're a young society. Like our mentality as a whole, like there's not that much wisdom. We're still like caught up in all these like sort of retarded like conundrums of like greed and fucking, power hungry people, where it's like it doesn't work that way. I mean, it's never been. I would just think that if we've been around in this realm for fucking however many thousands of years, like we would be a little further along with our wisdom level, with our collective mentality. It would be a little more mature. But I feel like when I look at the society, it's like this immature collective consciousness we have. It's just not really all that wise, and we just fall victim to all these really petty, like fucking hang-ups, such as greed and power hungry type, whatever, selfish mentality. And I just find it to be odd because we have a lot of tools that we've drummed up, and it's like stuff that's really advanced. But like it's just surprising that we be so advanced on one hand and then be so stupid on the other hand. Like it just it strikes me as being like a society that has inherited a bunch of really amazing stuff that we are just now figuring out how to use versus having came up with it ourselves. I don't know. I get that impression when I look at our society. It's like the stuff that we use is pretty advanced, but our mentality as a whole is really not all that advanced or like I don't know. It just doesn't jive. There's like some information missing. It feels like to me. But then again, I'm a crazy, French conspiracy theorist guy that thinks, I didn't erase your messages just now, did I? I'm sorry if I did. Why can't I fucking do things on this? This is so stupid. I'm pressing the arrow. I want to see the chat, but it's not letting me go down. Whatever, fuck it. Chemtrails above me. Oh yeah, look at that one. That's a beauty. That's a beauty. I never seen a long straight cloud so straight like that. Either they're laying down lines in the sky, or maybe God's doing lines of coke for breakfast. He's doing a fatty. Look at that gagger. It goes all the way across the sky. Okay. Oh, that's one way to wake up. It's a big old line. See how long it sits there. What do they call them? Persistent contrails. That's what IPS calls them. Fucking Tim Osmond. He goes I like what most of what he says, but then he goes so hard against the chemtrail believers or whatever. He says we're like falling for a psyop, but it's like no, I'm just looking in the sky and seeing things that don't make sense. I mean, is that okay? I'm not like falling for a psyop. I'm just observing something. Whether I call it a chemtrail or not, is that the psyop part? I mean, whatever it is, I mean, its condensation should dissipate sooner. And if it's frozen or something, which I don't really believe that's the true explanation for what we're looking at, because it has weight. And like condensation is supposed to be just moisture, which would have some weight, but I mean, this stuff sags and it spreads out. That's not what condensation should do. Condensation should dissipate, and be gone, really. But look at that. It's this perfect straight line. It's not dissipating at all. What it's doing is it's kind of spreading out. It's getting wider. Is that what condensation does? I don't think so. I mean, am I just a conspiracy theorist for noticing something like that? I mean, what the fuck, dude? It's a blemish across my blue sky, is what it is. And it's fucking annoying, because I don't think it's actually condensation. I think it's more like fucking manipulation. And I don't agree with it. I don't think that anybody has the right to like just go and pollute the environment for no other reason other than just polluting it. I mean, it's not like a byproduct of people like commuting to work or something. It's just there's a plane flying and its only purpose is to go spray shit in the sky. Nobody has a right to do that. I mean, that's not going to help anything, for one thing. It's like, what do you think you're helping? Like, we're going to save the environment, reflect sunlight back into space. I mean, what the fuck are you talking about, dude? Block the sun? That's a bit diabolical. Who who in their right mind would be okay with that idea? Nobody. So I'm not the crazy one. The crazy people are the people that think that's okay. Look, that condensation is still there, and look, there's an X over there now. X marks the spot. Can you see it? Oh, it's not showing up here. I'm gonna flip the camera around. Now there's an X in the sky. It's easier to see with my naked eye, but yeah, there's an X over there. They put a hex over us. That condensation sure is persistent. Well, you know what, Sir Murphil? I would have told that checker that beauty is in the eye of the beholder. And that person must be single because they talk ugly. Their words are ugly. Nobody wants to be with somebody who speaks ugly. Talk ugly to me, baby. Talk ugly. Oh, yeah, I love it when you talk ugly. You must be single. I dare somebody to say that to me. Just try. Just do it. Say that. Please. Tell me I'm single. Please. I beg of you. I mean, what a rude thing to say. Wow. Evil bastards. I mean, it's just like, you think you're fucking funny or something? She's looking at your purchase and that's what she said? Or she just redirected the attention to your looks? I mean, my looks are none of your business, honey. What looks ugly to you might look fine to someone else. And besides, like, what? We're all supposed to look the same? Nobody can really help the way that, I mean, you can add stuff to your appearance, but, like, really, I mean, this is how my beard grew. I didn't, like, make it do that. I just did it on its own. But if it was all spotty and all fucking, I'd probably shave it off because it would look all fucked up. I don't want to look fucked up. Back when I used to have hair on the top of my head, I had big old dreadlocks. Big old fucking dreadlocks down to my butt. And I dyed them different colors. There were like purple ones, pink ones, blue ones, green ones. Never been a libtard, but I had multicolored hair. I have been liberal in my life. I've been very generous. I've also been conservative in my life. I've been very tight-fisted. But I don't really lean too far one way or the other because why? I don't think that's a good way to be. I think the middle path is always the best path to be on. And it seems like it's the path least traveled, but I don't know if that's true. I mean, I take the path least traveled because there's less people on it, It's just easier to go. The two paths diverge in the woods. I mean, I'll fucking make my own path. Trailblaze. And it makes all the difference. That way you can avoid all the fucking pitfalls and all the fucking crap fucking display, all the phony facade of fucking the commercialized fucking swag world, it's a fucking bread and circus. The inbred bread and circus act. The best thing since sliced bread. The new inbred bread and circus act. And the crisis actors, go cry me a dry riverbed, why don't you phony ass fucking Erica Kirk. I am Erica. I America. Vote I America for president. Vote I America for Kirk, president. J.D. Vance Kirk, America. I America. America. They could at least choose a fucking hot blonde that has like a half of wit to her, Somebody with like fucking two brain cells to rub together, because that bitch is just like, she's just like a drone, like a clone, or like a bonehead. Someone should just fucking replace that Erica Kirk drone, clone, bonehead, because this model is kind of faulty. This Miss Arizona. No, she doesn't have a big head at all. No, she comes out to her fucking turning point, Erica Kirk, it's all like dubstep fucking, like, it's like, what the fuck, dude? Since when has the conservative movement, like, been like the fucking I guess it's like a world wrestling match now. I mean, politics has always been kind of like that, but it used to be a little more subtle. I mean, Erica Kirk is such I mean, whoever made the decision to like boost her is just like thinking with the wrong head. Because I mean, she's not bright. She's not someone to lead a movement. I mean, maybe a bowel movement, but that's about it. It's about the only movement she's good at. But it's like, what do you expect from the system? They don't have a creative bone in their bonehead. They're all just like, it's the same fucking script. They just fucking hand you the same shit over and over and expect you to just lap it right up. She's hot. The widow, and she's like, not a widow, dude. She's like, I'm so excited. Your husband was just murdered. What do you mean you're excited? Those words should not be leaving your mouth. And like, I don't know what's wrong with you, bitch, but you're not convincing. I'm so excited. What? It's so funny that Drewski dude fucking made fun of her so hard, dude. Totally clowned her, man. I mean, it's just like, it was such a cheap shot, though, really. It's so easy. But somebody had to do it, though. I mean, do I have viewers yet? I figured if I started talking about Erica Kirk, my viewer count would go way up. I feel like I'm getting ripped off. YouTube, you're punk. You know I said Erica Kirk a bunch of times. How come there's not a bunch of people here now all of a sudden? Come on, YouTube. You think I'm stupid? I know what I'm doing here. Give me my viewers. I said Erica Kirk like 30 times. I should have at least 30 new viewers right now. What the fuck? Should I say Tyler Robinson too? Tyler Robinson, Tyler Robinson, Tyler. You say Tyler Robinson 20 times, you get 20 viewers. The Charlie Kirk case and the Tyler Robinson, and he's innocent. He didn't do anything, and he didn't have a shadow. And there was. I like that people are looking for shadows now. That's cool. I mean, that shows some good spirit right there. Look for the shadows. But the thing is, I thought that fucking all this like augmented reality tech shit, I thought it was like fully immersive. Like I thought it would, whatever fake shit that it's adding, I thought it would be immersed in the environment, like with the shadow and everything. I mean, I thought that's how that shit worked. So why does the little plushie not have a shadow? I thought that was supposed to fucking provide all that. It was supposed to make it fully immersed in your reality. And so that's just weird, dude. I could have sworn I've seen augmented reality demonstrations and the things that they were, augmenting into your reality, they're believable. They have a shadow. They, what I mean? They have all the things that things would have. They're believable. So why Erica Kirk has an Adam's apple? Oh, that's why I'm not getting viewers, because you're saying shit like that. She's a man. Right? Usually most of the chicks that are in the limelight are men or were men. But they were like fucking switched over at an age before they had any say in the matter, probably. Because that's what the big secret is. It's like if you go, that's why they're trying to push it on kids. Because the sooner you decide to do something like that, the more the better it'll work, basically. But it's not. But nobody would ever decide to do something like that in their right mind. So these people are fucking absolutely nuts. And they're like, they're fucking with everybody's head to the no end. I thought growing up that when I would look at my stomach, I used to, the way I'm cut, I used to think to myself, I never said it out loud, but I used to think to myself, I look like a girl. Like I thought it looked feminine when I'd look at the way my stomach is cut, and the way it looked like I would think it looked feminine. That's just something I kept to myself my whole life. But what it was is that I was comparing the way I looked, and I was seeing the same thing in the super hot models, that are like all famous models. And it's like, but what I was seeing, but they were men, I didn't realize that I was looking at another man. So I was applying the way their body looked. And I was saying, my body kind of looks like that too. That's crazy. I look like a woman. But I just kind of kept it to myself. I didn't want to sound like a weirdo. But now I don't give a fuck. But now I'm just being honest with myself. And I'm realizing that I was fooled. I was looking at a man thinking it was a woman. And then I was looking at my own body going, man, I look kind of like a woman. Talk about a head fuck. No wonder there's people thinking that they're the wrong sex and shit. Give me a break, man. That's fucked up, dude. See, if all the truth were to be known, see, I lost my last viewer. Whatever, dude. Oh, boy's here. As soon as it went to zero, boy showed up. That's what's up, bro. You slide right through the cracks, and you're not even a viewer. You're a zero. So I was talking about something important here, and that's why I was pissed that everybody left. But this is what's important. All those women that you thought were hot when you were growing up, all those actresses that were all hot, like fucking Sandra Bullock. They were men, and they weren't women. But like I remember when I was growing up, I would look at my body and I would see the way my stomach was cut, with the way my legs, I have a pretty decent body, I'm not like all mal shaped or something, but I would think to myself, quietly to myself, that I looked kind of feminine. I think that my body was kind of feminine looking, but I just kind of kept it, no girl ever said that to me, and, and girls would tell me I was hot, so I was just like, okay. But I thought to myself, I looked kind of feminine. And you know what it was is that I was looking at the feminine, the examples of feminine, I, I'd been trained to see these hot females that were in the movies and shit and think that that's what a female looks like, or a hot female looks like. And then I would see the way they were shaped. This is all like internal. I wasn't thinking to myself, but it was like being observed by my mind. And I would look at myself and I would think, I look kind of like that. My body's cut like that. I look kind of feminine. And I was kind of, it made me think something, I was like, that's strange, but I would just like, never said anything about it. But the thing is, I was just being tricked. I was being confused. I was being fucked with and manipulated. I was looking at another man, thinking it was a woman, and I'm wondering why I look like that woman. My body is cut like that woman, and I'm just like, but the thing is, it wasn't a fucking woman I was looking at. It was a man pretending to be a woman. So here I'm with that thought, but fortunately I was, I've never been like insecure about, whatever my sexual prowess. I've never found that to be something to be insecure about. But like, I can see how some people are. I understand it's a whole world in its own. I mean, it's just the whole idea, and in the smut world and the perversion, and it's pretty gross. It can be pretty fucking bad. But and so it's like it is kind of intimidating when you're first getting into it, and you are exposed to some weird shit. But it's like, so it's a strange world nonetheless, and so I can see how some people would be fucked with on a deeper level, having that same observation that I had, because I kept it to myself and I didn't let it. I didn't, start thinking I was a girl or something, but I did think to myself, there was a few times where I thought I look kind of like a girl looking at my body, but I was basing that thought off of my observations of these hot supermodel actresses, and but they weren't even fucking women. So that's my point. And then we got all these people thinking that they're the wrong sex and shit. Well, it's like, dude, you're examples of what you think. It's like, dude, there's just head fuckery on every level here. I mean, that's why it's the beast system. It's just gross. Every stretch of it just becomes so corrupted and fucking. And I'm just thinking, like, dude, our society is so dumb. Like, I would think that we'd be more wise if we'd been around for fucking evolving for fucking billions of years. I mean, you'd think that we'd be a little more wise. It's almost like we're this new, fresh batch of people that just got thrown into this world, and we just started off not that long ago because we're still succumbing to some of the stupidest shit. And it's like, where's the wisdom? I mean, like, how come we're so dumb? I mean, I wouldn't think that you'd be able to dumb like you see the stuff that was left behind by our ancestors. I mean, it's fucking brilliant. We can't figure out how they did this shit. And it's because we're dumb and they were brilliant. So how the fuck did that happen? I don't think you can take brilliant and make it dumb. I mean, maybe, but I would think that information wouldn't have been lost. I think that we're like looking at like a situation where like we're like a new batch of people that just got thrown in here and we had to figure out everything again. We're just picking up and we're like finding these, tools that were left behind in society, and we just had to figure it out. And we're still young. We're still stupid. That would make more sense to me than like a brilliant society that could do incredible things that's like somehow devolved to these fucking idiots with this advanced technology. It's like there's a stark contrast in the way that things are are like showing themselves to me in this world. I'm like, how do we have such advanced technology, but our collective mentality is just retarded? Like we're just dumb. I mean, I don't even feel like I'm all that bright, but I'm noticing, you know what I'm just saying is like, it doesn't jive. There's some things that aren't congruent here. Like, how do we have all this advanced technology and yet we're still succumbing to such stupid problems like like mental wise, you know, like our minds are just so petty and the things that like people are involved in. I mean, it's just like the stuff that people fall for. I mean, the critical thought is out the window. I mean, and creativity is just, you know, it's, dude, it's really, I don't know. I mean, I'm just kind of wondering how could our society have been so brilliant at one point in time if those were our ancestors that left behind some of the stuff that we see and we can't explain. Like, why is that? Why can't we explain a lot of the stuff that our ancestors have left behind for us? Like, why? That doesn't make sense to me. Why is there no blueprints of some of these most brilliant, like engineered building? Why we don't have the engineering, the fucking for like some of these brilliant like capital? We don't even have the engineering plans for that. I mean, that is like such an achievement to have built like that, but we don't have the records. Come on, dude. I mean, there's some vital information missing from the situation here today, and it's like there's no wonder that people are going crazy and thinking in all kinds of weird shit. You know, it's and then not to mention it's being like submersive, subversive, sub. It's like there's a submission, submersive, subverted, subpar. You know, sub genius. The Church of the Sub Genius. Whatever happened to Church of Bob, anyways, man? That guy had it figured out. He's all they took away our slack. You know, you got to get that slack back. Hey Jack, did you get your slack back? Hey Jack, did you get your slack back? Did you have to get a jab to get your slack back? You had to get two jabs just to get your slack back at the snack shack. Jack, that's whack. Jack, did you get your slack back? Did they cut your slack, Jack? Jack, you had to get two more jabs just to keep your dumb job at the snack shack. That's whack, Jack. Imagine that. You shouldn't have done that. Oh, Jack lost track of how many jabs he got. After that, Jack lost track of how many jabs he got. That's whack. Oh, Jack, imagine that. That's whack. You shouldn't have done that. Jack, imagine that. That's whack. You shouldn't have done that. Oh, Jack, that's whack. You shouldn't have done that. Oh, Jack, that's whack. Oh, Jack, imagine that. Why did you do that? Jack be nimble, Jack be quick. Oh, Jack did not avoid that. Jack be nimble, Jack be quick. Jack. Jack, did you get your job? Did you get your Jack? Did you get your slack back? Did you get your slack back, Jack? No, that's whack. There was like a different. I used to go like this. I used to sing a song that went to that same chord pattern, but it was like this. Biden's got to build back better, better, build back better, better, build back good. That was during Biden's administration. Now a song about Biden is just so last year or last, you know, it seems like so long ago. Biden, his presidency was probably one of the most abstract things that has happened to this country. It was just so, it was like this unspoken like cringe, you know, it's just ongoing cringe for 4 years. And like, you know, Trump is cringe big time, but it's a different kind of cringe. It's a cringe that comes with like some like there's like some offending nature to it, you know, where Biden was just like cringe, like kind of like a little bit scary, you know, or just sad and scary and cringe. You know, Trump's a different kind of scary. I mean, not that I'm scared, but I'm just saying it's like concerning, you know what I mean? That's what I'm trying to say. And Biden and his like falling down at the podium, you know, like he fell down, he fell all the way up flat on his face one time. I remember seeing him like laying all the way on his face at the podium. It's like, dude, that's our president. He falls on his face at the podium and forgets what he's talking about, starts whispering, oh, creepy, get vaccinated. And what the fuck was going on with that, dude? That shit was whack. You know what I'm saying? And now we got Trump. He's all, open up fucking straight, you faggots. What the hell? It's totally like so presidential. He's not talking very diplomatic. Even the avid Trump fans, like that Stephen Gardner clown. I subbed to that guy's channel because during the Charlie Kirk when he first got shot, I was watching Candace Owens and she was all. She showed that guy's channel. She's all, this guy Stephen Gardner. He was just going there and he's walking through the whole thing and he shows you the whole campus. He's doing really good work. And I was like, oh, cool. I'm gonna go see. And so I subbed to the guy and I went and watched that, content. And but then he kept popping up in my feed, over time, and he turns out to be one of these guys that's just like avid, diehard Trump supporter. Trump did it again. He tricked him, and he got the best thing that he could ever do for this country. And it's always all that. And ICE, they're doing their job, and he was always bringing up all these great things. And Trump is just Trump, 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 and there's nothing Trump could do that the guy wouldn't support. And I started noticing that. I'm like, dude, you're like kind of not very like, this is kind of subjective here. You're kind of neglecting to bring up some things that are like kind of concerning. And I would leave comments like that. He never got back to me. He's got like millions of subs. And but then but then I watched him again recently, and he was talking about he was going over Trump's tweet where he's like, "Open the goddamn straight, or we're gonna end the world or whatever." And and because he's always diehard Trump. He's always covering Trump, and he's all, "That's not very diplomatic language he's using." I'm like, I'm like, whoa, hey, he's noticing. Trump's not acting right, is he? Even the guy that's like the diehard, up his butt, fucking diehard Trump lover, he was still kind of like, whoa. So I left a comment. I think I was like, hey, you noticed. I salute you. You don't have to agree with everything he does. I mean, I know you're trying to get your clicks or whatever, but like, the only reason I click is because I just want to see, like, how can somebody still support what's going on right now? And he'll just, rattle off all this shit. There's never going to see anything bad about what's happening with Trump. And I got to admit, like, really, it's just like drama that I'm watching. It's like, it's pretty much just life is, it's like things don't change like rapidly, with different presidents. I mean, the gas prices have been steadily climbing, but it's not the end of the world, and it's like, really, it's just mostly just drama. It's like, it doesn't really affect your life much. Like, if we all stopped paying attention to it completely and just all of us pulled out and never once looked at it again, didn't vote, didn't support at all, no money, no nothing, no love, no vote, no attention at all, zero, zilch, it would wither away and die, and it would be done within the course of like a year. They'd sit there and smell their own farts for like a little while, like, patting each other on the back like they do, but without any attention from us, it would just fucking, dude, it would be like, it would biodegrade and blow away in the wind. It would be over. And so it's our attention that we give it, and that's what makes it real. And that's why it's there. It's pretty abstract, for a normal person to think like that, but it's so true, because if we didn't vote or support or give it attention, just turn it off entirely. I mean, if everybody, like, that would mean like some of the government employees would have to stop just not going to work anymore, like just everybody has to pull out. There can't be like any like portion of society that's still giving it any attention. And that would be difficult to achieve, but like, because there's a lot of government employees, but really it's all just a bunch of red tape. It's all just people talking. None of it's real. The only reason it's real is because there's people with guns in jails, It's like there's a consequence for not agreeing with it. But like, it's just people talking, really, and people wearing government costumes. They don't even take legitimate oaths. We've never had a real president because they've all been Freemasons first. I love you. Hey. We never had a real president. we, Not one, every White House resident. president. I don't need one. I don't think they do anything useful. I'm pretty sure they don't. I mean, the original argument was that they, the infrastructure and shit like that. But it's like our infrastructure is dilapidated. I mean, and it's stuff that I wouldn't mind. I'll go take care of what, if there's a hole in the road or whatever. Yeah, if somebody needs to make an overpass or something. Yeah, if there's contractors. I mean, it's like we don't need a government. That's the mentality that I'm talking about right there. It's like dumb. People think we need something that we don't need, and then there's people in there that are just like using it to make a bunch of money. They don't do anything useful. Trump's just manipulating the market with his fucking dumb tweets. I mean, it's like he's making millions off of just tweeting some dumb shit. I mean, can you believe this? What a fucking joke. It's just not right, dude. It's just far from it. And geese, too. You can just sit back. The Jews will always think of ways to fuck you. Well, isn't that what it is? Like when you Jew somebody? Yeah. I mean, it's a cliche for a fucking reason. I don't sneak around, but I wear sneakers. I don't vote 'cause I don't need a leader. I'll leave time for you on your parking meter. I don't vote 'cause I don't need a leader. Ooh, I don't vote 'cause I don't need a leader. Ooh, I don't vote 'cause I don't need a leader. There's no stupid questions, there's only stupid teachers. I don't vote 'cause I don't need a leader. I don't beat wives, but I wear wife beaters. I don't vote 'cause I don't need a leader. No. I don't vote 'cause I don't need a leader. Ooh. I got something in my eye, something in my throat. I'm all fucking fucked up. There's some lyric I forgot. What is it? Oh yeah. I do not eat the bugs, but I eat an anteater. I don't vote 'cause I don't need a leader. I'll leave time for you on your parking meter. One time I was parking my car, and the little girl that was getting in the car with her dad. She's all, "Dad, there's so much time left on the parking meter. We're not going to use it." And he's all, "No, we'll just leave it for the next person." And he bends down and he says to her, "Time is one of the best gifts you can give somebody." And I was just like, damn, I'm so glad I saw that. That was rad. Those little moments you catch, you're like, that was good. I saw that. And he's right. There's no real countries, bro. All there is there's one country. It's called the Antarctic Treaty. That's the country that we live in. That's the name of the country we live in. It's called the Antarctic Treaty. Because that's, like, basically, if you're going to just try to summarize the human, I mean, so where is the place that we're all in agreement? Like, where's the one place on Earth that we all, are in sync together, where we're all agreeing, we're all holding hands together? Where's the one spot where we can just say, okay, that's us as a whole? Well, that would be the Antarctic Treaty. Because all the wars and all the fighting, all the stupid shit and laws and regulations, all that shit is just like fucking noise because all those countries are busy holding hands in peace out there at the Antarctic Treaty. And so that's where you want to get the sum of the human experience, and that's who we are. We're the Antarctic Treaty. We're part of that. Just if you want to understand like your position in this world, and it's not a ball. We don't live on a ball. That was a model that was created from the sky observations. It's pretty impressive, I got to admit, but like there's a lot of stuff about it that's pretty stupid. Like the part where you live on the outside of a ball. Oh, man. I mean, it'd be one thing if you could like point to something in nature and be like, it's kind of like that, but you can't. Or it'd be one thing if you could like measure any of it, like where you could say, okay, look, it's curving right here, and you can see this curve. You can take this measurement. It's the same every day, and all day long. It's the same measurement because the Earth is curving, and we could go measure the rotation because we can separate from Earth's movement and see the Earth moving. But no, none of that shit's possible. And, it'd be one thing if people would be like fucking circumnavigating this north to south. I mean, it's so funny because if you think about it, where would you circumnavigate on a flat plane? It would be a circle, right? Yeah, okay. So how do we circumnavigate Earth right now? East to west? Right. Well, east-west are circles. Nobody's circumnavigating north to south. Don't try to say there are, because nobody is. There's a reason for that. North and south are straight lines. Just think about it. Look at a compass. A compass has an arrow and it's pointing north. It's a pretty simple tool, but it's quite profound. It's depicting directionality on the Earth. And it's depicting it on a flat plane, and that arrow is straight. A straight arrow is not implying a circular path. A straight arrow is implying, there you go, you can walk in a straight line. Good luck to you. You're not ever going to come back to where you started. No, you got to walk in a circle to do that. A straight line north to south, there you go, it just keeps going. I mean, I'm under the impression there's a limit here on our earthly realm because the sun only goes so far in its analemma and its daily 24,000 mile circuit. So there's only so much Earth that could be lit, in this cycle that we're in. But so beyond that would have to just be cold, I guess, just icy and like impassable, no life, just, there would have to be somewhere on Earth that resembles that, where it's just so cold and nobody passes because it's just death. There's no life. It's cold. And yeah, the 24-hour sun in Antarctica, that's a pretty good head fuck. But that was their last card. That was the last card they had to pull on us with that one. And it was a good one. I gotta admit, it's pretty good because nobody ever gets to see that 24-hour sun down there. I mean, there's people that do apparently, but it's pretty rare, And the way that all played out was a pretty good head fuck. But there's no reason why we can't have two 24-hour suns over a planar realm. I mean, I don't know why that seems crazy. I do understand why people do believe in the globe. I mean, because it does summarize the way that things pretty neatly as far as what we're seeing in the sky with the straight path at the equator. Because it's like people think, oh, well, it must be going underneath us if it's coming back in a straight line. It's like it's a form of brainwashing by having someone look at something in the sky, and then believe they know everything about the sky, and then the only explanation for this observation could be that the Earth is a ball. Where it's like, we don't really understand the sky the way we understand the Earth. I understand that the Earth is an expanse, like there's real places, and it just spreads out. It's an expanse, how they say that in the southern regions, it's like the latitude lines, or the longitude lines get closer together, it closes back up. But that's like, so that would be a weird situation. That would mean if we started making a circumference that's expanding evenly in every direction, like a real measurement of Earth, it could only get so big. It would reach the median measurement, and that would be the biggest circumference you could draw on the Earth, but there'd still be more Earth beyond that. But somehow that circumference is going to start to shrink. See, that's what really is just a head fuck for me. I don't think that's what we would see. I think if we started making concentric circles on the Earth, they could only get bigger. because it's just going to be how it is right here. You know, you're just going to be finishing your circle, and then if there's more Earth beyond your circle, then you know the next one's going to be bigger, and that's how it's always going to be. So there's not really a situation that what the globe necessitates. There's not that wouldn't we live in a realm that's planar, so that wouldn't work. That can't happen. The shrinking, you know, it's like the way the latitude circles are you know indicated on the globe. The way they say they measured the Earth, you know, it's like the latitude circles, they get bigger and bigger and bigger, and they get to the equator. Zero is the biggest one, and then they start getting smaller and smaller and smaller until you get to the other pole or whatever. So it's like that is the sky measurements imposed onto a earthly realm. But that doesn't mean that the realm has to be a ball, though. That's what the sun is doing. That's what the sky is doing. It doesn't have to be what the earth is doing. And I don't know how that would work, really. How is that going to work? An, an expanding perimeter, it's going to be circling real places on Earth. It's a real measurement. How is it ever going to get smaller? It doesn't. That's not what we would see, because it's not possible. That's what we're supposed to believe happens. An expanding perimeter gets smaller after a while. But nobody ever thinks about this shit to that extent, which is just really strange. Because that's the part where I have to depart from like what I would expect to be reality in order to believe it. I mean, there's a lot of parts that I have to do that with the globe Earth. That's why I'll never go back to the globe. I mean, unless I go see it with my own eyes, and even then I'll feel like I must be like getting tricked or something. I don't know. I just don't think it's true at all anymore. I will never go back to that because having thought about it, I've realized that there's no way that that can be real. And it's just with, you know, the anecdotal like silliness to it all is the fact that they're faking space and it's obvious. That part really sends it home, you know. It's like, because it'd be one thing if they were like actually showing us something that was believable and you know, or something, or like, but they don't. And that really kind of was what broke me of the whole globe belief. I'm like, well, if it was real, they wouldn't be faking all this shit. I mean, it's obviously fake. That's what really weirds me out is that people will see the green screen and the shit where it's like, obviously that's proof that it's fake, but they won't agree. Like, why? They just want to believe that bad. Why do they want to believe so bad? What's wrong with them? They just want to be, they just think that it's proven, huh? They think that they live on a ball. You think you live on a ball? I got no reason to believe something that I never seen. Got no reason to believe 8,000 miles below the ground. People are living their lives and they're upside down. If seeing is believing and it's something I ain't seeing, then I got no reason to believe it at all. I got no reason to believe that we be living on the outside of a ball. I don't care how many equations you show me, it'll never prove the sky goes below me. It sounds like a bunch of baloney to me. Got no reason to believe any of that bullshit now. Seeing is believing, and that's something we ain't seeing, and there ain't no reason to believe it at all. No reason to believe that you are living on the outside of a ball. Papa was a rolling snowball. Wherever he laid flat was his home. He was Now he's gotten so big that he could not stop. Roll on, Papa. Ooh, Papa was a rolling snowball. Wherever he laid flat was his home. And then he melted into a puddle on the floor. And then Mama came in and mopped his ass up. Oh, Papa, I'm a snowball too, just rolling after you. Wherever you lay flat is your home. Oxford is doing what? It. You think that's like the epicenter of it? They're doing it. Oh, it's a 15-minute city. Well, that's a crying shame. It took 15 minutes for the town to burn down. 15 minutes to get out. 15 minutes to put up a fence around it. What is wrong with this thing? It's stupid. I was trying to get the kaleidoscope effect going. You suck at saying something is wrong. I can do this. Ah! That's crazy. Whoa, that's crazier. Dance party? Oh, yeah, let's have a dance party. I can be radioactive. It's kind of freaky, dude. I wonder if anybody streams like this. Hey, I'm just radioactive today. No biggie. Don't worry. It doesn't hurt. It's cool. I'm fine. I'm negative. I'm kind of negative today. I'm in sort of a negative mood. I'm blue retro. Oh, this is charming. I'm blue retro. It's like watching an old film. Look, it's Bob Dylan from back in the day, dude. Wow. Hey, Mr. Tambourine Man, play a song for me. I'm sleepy and there is no place I'm going to. Now my weariness amazes me. I'm landed on my feet. What do you say? Take me disappearing through the smoke rings of my mind, down the foggy ruins of time, far past the frightened trees, the haunted frightened trees, out past the crazy rivers of crazy sorrow. I don't remember. I'm ready to go anywhere, I'm ready for to fade. A lot of people are like, oh, I hate Bob Dylan, he sucks, but like, I like the songs though, I like when people that can sing do them, then it's good. That's such a generic thing to say. Don't say that, even if you really think that. Don't say that, because it's so generic. Everybody says that. It's a cheap shot. He's all, the guy. I sold my soul to, that one guy. The guy. So I can't stop. This train got to keep on rolling. He put out a good album not that long ago. I'm like, this guy, dude, fucking the Rolling Stones. I mean, they're almost like, they're so old right now. You can see them. And those guys made it big covering Bob Dylan's music. He was already famous, and he's, you know what I mean? It's like Bob Dylan, and he's still putting out albums. The Rolling Stones aren't putting out albums anymore, I don't think. Maybe they are. They still tour once in a while, but Just think about like the way things have played out. I mean, Bob Dylan, it's crazy, dude. That guy's older than dirt, dude. He was playing at the fucking speech for that fucking at where what's his name Martin Luther King was. I had a dream. He played right before he made his fucking famous speech. Bob Dylan. They didn't call him Bob Dylan though. I think maybe they did. They call him like Robert, like Zimmerman or something. It was his original Jew name that he had. You sold your soul to a bumblebee. Bumblebee, carpenter bees buzz. It is what it was. What was it again? Don't say honey. Though you feel in love and lost, your heart sorrows will turn your heart to frost. I will melt your heart again. I wish we'd stop doing that. Stop telling me things. Remember the feeling. It's like telling me things, and I'm just like, wow, I gotta plug this thing in. Okay, well, I don't want it to die, so I guess I won't complain this time. This one time. You're watching an old Dr. Bass show from back in the 60s, dude. This is old. It's like classic retro blue. It's all over now, baby blue. The highway is for gamblers, you better use your sense. Take what you have gathered from coincidence. Empty-handed painter from your streets is drawing crazy patterns on your sheets. I don't know. Look out the sky is folding. I don't know what he says. On you, and it's all over now, baby blue. There's some good lyrics in that song. There's like reset lyrics. He's like, um, he's saying like, what is it? You must leave now. Take what you need. You think will last. Whatever you wish to keep, you better grab it fast. He understands you're orphan. They're talking about orphans, and then there's something else too. There's another phrase in that song that reminds me of like reset shit. Bob Dylan has dabbled into some reset lyrics. Like he's talking about Maggie's farm, and he puts his cigar out in your face just for kicks. His bedroom window is made out of bricks. I mean, I think he was hit with a mud flood, dude. He knows what's up, dude. Bob Dylan. Yeah. That's what I'm saying, dude. He knew. He knew about the bricks, dude. His bedroom window is made out of bricks. Was he just being silly? Maybe he's just being silly. I've been a big fan of Bob Dildo over the years. Bob's Dildo, he's really good. He has good lyrics. And, I like when other people sing his songs because he can't sing. I'm just kidding. I don't want to be a total generic cliche person that just says what everybody else says. I actually like Bob Dylan's voice. I like that he whines. He's like, fucking. But I don't like when he does that, like, take on my little brass bed, baby. What is that? What is it? Lay upon my big brass bed. He does that weird, like, cheesy country voice. Oh, I can't do it. He does that. I think there's like Bob Dylan's style that he had like late 70s. He was doing this weird, corny, like, thing for a minute, and it was just so bizarre. My big brass bed, or whatever that song is. He says such a weird. He's all. What did he say in that song? Why wait any longer for the one you love? standing in front of you. He's just singing all corny, but it's pretty good though. It's good. I mean, I just used to not like it that much, but now when I think about it, I think it's pretty cool. I like the Bob Dylan that's in the Big Lebowski. That song, a man like me, what a man like me will do for a woman like you, or something like that. Man in me, I don't know. It's well played in that movie. It's like the soundtrack to that movie kicks butt. I mean, that movie just kicks butt. I mean, the dude, like, how could you ever be anybody but the dude after being the dude? Like, the guy's just the dude for life. You know what I mean? Don't fuck with the Jesus. I'm gonna fuck you in the butt. Fucking guy. He's all Jesus. That's right, buddy. There's people like that, you know. That's totally how it is in LA. You know, there's people like that guy, the Jesus at the bowling alley. He's just hot shit. Don't fuck with the Jesus, man. Gotta play some music. I'll stop talking. When I was on my last hope, I was going for broke. I wasn't sure if I was gonna make it. It took a while for me to smile. I just did not know that I had gone fucking crazy. It's so dramatic and everyone panics. It just makes me weak. Every step I take away from you, I can tell I'm just as well. I'm just as well. And so I took this moment and I put it all down, just so I can let you know I'm still in control, just as far as I know. Even when I let go, yeah. Even when I let go. I do, there's still a sound recognizing what I know to be true. And when there was only different, I still look up and you know that I love you with all my heart. If it was over before the start, that's easy to say and it's harder to see. But some things have to be believed to be seen. Some things have to be believed to be seen. Believe to be seen. Some things have to be believed. Believe to be seen. The song takes too long to finish. But it's true. It's a true song. You know, you're going to manifest that. You're going to worry yourself sick. It's like you have to believe it. You know, COVID was only dangerous. It was only a threat if you believed it. It was really like that. Because if you didn't believe it, like me, then it was fake as fuck. And it just didn't affect me because I didn't fucking believe it. It was bullshit. But the people that believed it, they got sick. They went to the hospital, and the hospital finished them off. It's a crying shame. It was a reverse pandemic. Because in a real pandemic, what's supposed to happen is that the only people that survive are the people lucky enough to make it to the hospital for treatment. That's what's supposed to happen in a real pandemic. But in a reverse pandemic, the only people that suffer or die are the people that go to the hospital for treatment. So that was a reverse pandemic that we had. That wasn't a straightforward one. See, I'm a reverse psychologist, so I can spot this shit. Don't feel bad if you didn't notice until now. It was a reverse pandemic. They just don't tell you. You know, they speak in reverse-isms. They're like, this is going to greatly reduce the symptoms for your asymptomatic disease. What do you mean? What does that mean? It's going to kill me? Yes. On the day when I was born, Daddy sat down and cried. With more just plain as I don't know, I can't do it like that. On the day when I was born, Daddy sat down and cried. Jack, just a hammer in the brass tacks. Jack, just a hammer in the brass tacks. Lagging, asshole, acting like a maniac. Do you wonder why exactly I'm explaining that? Just consider the fact that once you grab your bugger back, there's gonna be a way to turn back around, cause this whole thing's gonna come down, that's right. Jack, just a hammer in the brass tacks. Lagging, asshole, acting like a maniac. Do you wonder why exactly I'm explaining that? Just consider the fact that once you grab your bugger back, there isn't gonna be a way to turn back around, cause this whole thing's gonna come down, right. Well, we will see who's laughing in the place that's collapsing in the free for all. Anything can happen when the ship goes down, so does the cap. Wherever you are is where you'll be stuck, yeah, when this place goes belly up. And have yourself a damn good time when the shit hits a fan. And when you go and get stuff, you better be clever enough, you gotta know what the fuck to do. is gonna come down this way. The whole damn thing gonna come down this way. The whole damn thing is gonna come down this way. The whole damn thing is gonna come down this way. When the seekers laughing, when the place was collapsing in a free for all, anything can happen when the ship goes down. Oh, when the seekers laughing, wherever you are is where you'll be stuck. And when this place goes belly up, and have yourself a damn good time when the shit hits the fan. And when the going gets tough, you gotta be clever enough. You gotta know what the fuck to do. You gotta run amok, or let the muck run you. Act fast, jackass, last chance, a hammer in my brass hands. I'm talking lagging, ass throat, acting like a maniac. I wonder why exactly I'm explaining that. Just consider the fact that once you grab your bug up, there's gonna be a way to turn back around. Cause this whole thing's gonna come down, that's right, that's right. Things gonna come down with me. Whole damn thing, it's gonna come down, that's right. Don't change your screen name, keep it the same, for fear I might lose you again. I know you won't, it's just that I'm so unorganized. I wanna find you if something could happen. When you come down, we'll go to town. I haven't been there in years. Well, I'd be fine wasting our time, not doing anything here, just doing nothing. We'll drift for days, talking about things important to us, like whatever. We'll defuse bombs, walk marathons, take on whatever together. Whatever together. Whatever together. cha-cha at the end. Ha-cha-cha. Ha-cha-cha. That's the thing. That's what it is. Alright. Down for another boring Dr. Bass song. Everybody wants to have a little peace. Everybody needs to sometimes. Everybody wants to be part of the feast before they die. Before they die. Everybody's gonna die. Yeah, look at the end of that song. Everybody's gonna die. Whatever, fuck me. Everybody's gonna die. That's how the song is ending right now. Everybody's gonna die. Oh, yeah. Alright, I'm falling asleep here. What's up, Water the Tree? Well, I wish I was out on Rocky Top, out in the Tennessee hills. Ain't no smoky smog on Rocky Top, ain't no telephone bill. One headache girl on Rocky Top, half bear, the other half can. Well, it's big but sweet feel the pain. All I know is it's that baby life can't be simple again. Rocking, crying, always being home, sweet home. Falling off my horse. It's too hard to keep that beat going. How was your walk, baby? I love you. How was your time? It seemed like it was pretty quick.
It's about the same.
Yeah. Like an hour and a half.
Yeah, 40.
Didn't go to heaven, never came to me. Didn't come around, I just came to be. The needle on the compass is straight, indicating to you if you follow through, you will never return. It's a straight line. If you follow through, you will never return. It's a straight line. It's up to you. If you follow through, you will never return. It's a straight line. I'm just singing a song to you. It's a song that is true. Everything's in its right place. Everything's in its right place. There's no time to wait. It's a picture perfect paradise. Picture perfect paradise. Isn't it nice? Picture perfect paradise. Take my advice. Don't think twice. Dive in headstrong. Don't get too long. 'Cause everything's in its right place. Everything's in its right place. There's no time to wait. There's no time to wait. Everything's in its right place. There's no time to wait. Everything's in its right place. Didn't go to heaven. Heaven came to me, and I didn't come around. I just came to me. I didn't write this song wrote me. And it tells you how I am, who I am. It tells you how I am, who I am. Do you know who you are? Do you know how you are? Who you are, who are you? Do you know who you are? How are you? Who you are? Do you know who you are? How are you? Who you are? How are you? Who you are? How I am, who I am. Do you know who I am? How am I? Who I am? Who am I? How high are you? Are you high too? I'm high. How are you? Are you high too? If it's too true to be good, too true to be good, it's just terrible. Oh no, it's too true to be good, too true. It's just horrible. It's too bad that the truth is is so unbearable. Too true, too true, too true, too true to be good. It's too true to be good. It's two times two is too true. Too true, who knew that was true? Who knew this was true? You? I didn't know who knew. True, 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 it's too true to be good. Too true, knew that blue wasn't true. I didn't, did you? Who true, who knew? It's too new to be known, too true to be shown. It's too true to be good. There goes the neighborhood, too true to be good. Who knew this wasn't true? Who knew that blue wasn't true? I thought true blue was true. Who knew it wasn't true? You, I didn't. Who knew the true wasn't true? It's too true to be good. Too true to be good. It's just too true to be good. It's just terrible. It's true. It's true that nothing is true. It's horrible. It's just too true to be good. It's just too true to be good. It's so true. It's just terrible. True. Who knew that blue wasn't true? True. It's too true to be good. There goes the neighborhood. Too true. It's too true to be good. It's just exposing all the people that are hosing us. It's exposing the truth that needs to be taken and not shown to us. It's true. It's too true. It's not good how true it is. It's exposing he who knew it was a sham. That's why they have to yank it from the internet. Make sure you didn't see the truth that exposed the powers that shouldn't be hosing you. It's too true to be true. It's not true. It's wait. Nothing's true. It wasn't true. It's not true. It's not good to be not true to do. 'Cause if you say something that YouTube don't like, oh, they come along and they give you a strike. Talking about something that they're trying to hide is a good way to get your tubes tied. Quick, they don't like that shit. One. It's too true to be good. Too true. Hey, Justina, what's up? Oh, you heard my song? Good, cool. I might charge it up enough to pull this thing and go outside. Let's see. 40%, that's it. Wow. That's about all I got left anyways. You're pretty, baby. I love you. It's too true. Who knew that true wasn't true? Nothing's true. It's true. There's nothing that you knew was true is actually true. So what is true? Nobody knows. Well, it's true. The things that are true are just things that are true. You don't have to think about it. You know, it's just obvious. It's intuitive. It's true. That's what's true. Things that are like models of reality, those are models of reality. It doesn't mean they're true. It just means it's a representation of what is being experienced in reality to some extent. But if people let a model become what they think is their objective reality, you end up getting this kind of weird sort of science where it's like, well, you can't measure it, but it's there kind of science, you know? It's like, well, you see, the Earth is moving, you know, and it's flying around the sun, and it's spinning. That's why we have day and night, and then we have our years and seasons, you know, because of the tilt while it's spinning and wobbling, and you know. But you can't detect any of the motion, though. Yeah, but that's just because you're on it, and it's always the same speed, and it's always been the speed. Well, technically, an elliptical orbit is a change of speed. And what's giving it the extra speed to keep going? And, like, how does that exactly work? I mean, orbital mechanics are a little bit interesting. At any rate, what is the reason why you wouldn't feel the change in speed? Is it just, it's so gradual? Oh, well, that's another excuse. It's excuse science. You know, it's kind of science where there's excuses. Oh, you can't measure because, oh, that's because of this, that, and refraction and the thing or whatever. You know, it makes it look that way. But that's like the science that you can't prove. Though excuse science is unprovable. It's unfalsifiable. It's excuse science because it's basically, you know, it's indicating a dogmatic belief system, and that's when you see excuse science, you know that if you keep pulling on that thread, you're going to find some truth. Because excuse science is there to cover up some lack of knowledge or some either deception or lack of knowledge about something. So they have excuses. They're like, well, this is because of refraction, and it's this thing that we arbitrarily put a number on and say, well, it's between this range, and the refraction index for that day, you could probably see this much curvature be straightened out into a plane. And if it's just because of the way light works and refracting, it looks like it's curving, but it's not looking like it's curving. It's flat, but because it's curving, it's refraction. And it's not curving, but it is. But that sounds like excuse science. I would rather just say, well, it's what I'm looking at. It's what it is, instead of having to make excuses for why it's not what I'm looking at and what it isn't. You pull on excuse science threads and you end up looking at something that's not what they thought it was. You're like, wait a second. The excuse for this is because it's because we're on it. You can't feel the measurement. You can't detect the measurement just because we're on it. So how do we get off it to measure it? So I guess we'd have to hover above it. No, that's not going to work either because then you're already moving at the same speed. Ah, fuck, crap. So there's no way to measure it. You can't hover in a helicopter and watch it move under you. Nope. But there is the one, the only Foucault pendulum, and it shows you how to do it. How does a Foucault pendulum separate from the movement and the helicopter can't? That's a question I have. That's what I want to know the answer to because I haven't got that far yet. I haven't figured out why that's possible. What makes the Foucault pendulum special and the helicopter not? Like, why can the Foucault pendulum separate from the Earth's motion and the helicopter or the drone that's hovering there above the Earth can't separate? What is the mechanism that the Foucault pendulum has that allows it to do this? Or is this just another cheap parlor trick? It's like when someone comes to you and they have this little spinny toy that's moving, and they're like, dude, because this thing is spinning and moving, it means the whole world is spinning and moving. Whoa. You know, it's like some stoner science right there. Right? You gotta go walk your doggy. Wish I had a dog to walk. Give me a doggy. Trust the science. The science is always Bas Ackwards, though. I believe that gravity has been explained to us backwards because really the physics don't show it that way. It shows it the opposite way. That's like acceleration doesn't cause what they say. They say that's what's so weird about it is that like why would they even agree to that? Acceleration causes the opposite. But they say we're accelerating, but so it is kind of a head fuck, though, really. Because if you can't measure that acceleration, then it's like, well, what's really happening then? You know, it's just more this lack of ability to measure something. Accelerometer reads zero while it's falling. So what the fuck, dude? That's not fair. So that means there's no force that's pushing it down. Because if there was, then it would have a reading. But it's just contact force is what we're talking about. Well, that's what acceleration is, though, right? It's a working force that's actually getting something, moving something. Like when you create a, like when you add acceleration to a reference frame. Let's say you're in your car and you add acceleration, you step on the gas. everything that's inside that reference frame is subject to that acceleration now. So if you're dense, you're going to be pushed towards the direction where the force is coming from. The force is coming from behind you. It's pushing you forwards. You are dense, you get pushed into your seat. Like a helium balloon in the car gets pushed towards the windshield. It goes the opposite direction. It's buoyant. So that's what happens when you add acceleration to a reference frame. A density buoyancy gradient is formed, and it's due to the acceleration on the reference frame. It causes things that are heavy to sag behind and things that are buoyant to go in the direction that the force is going. And so it's a density gradient or a pressure gradient, similar to what we have here on Earth. We have a pressure gradient. It gets less, pressure gets lesser the further away you get from the Earth. So if you were to take the example with the car, where you're like stepping on the gas and you're getting pushed in the direction where the force is coming from, the acceleration, and the balloon is going towards the windshield, you're going towards the back of the car. The force is coming from behind you, it's pushing you. So that's the density gradient, the pressure gradient that gets created in your car when you step on the gas. But if you turn that whole thing sideways, if you turn that whole example sideways to where the back of the car is the ground and the windshield is the sky, and then you think about it like this, because there's a pressure gradient here on Earth that resembles the pressure gradient that you would get if you add an acceleration to a reference frame. It's the exact same thing. That's what you get. You get a pressure gradient that is that forms, and the acceleration is actually coming from. In that case, it would be coming from the ground. It would be coming because that's what's pushing us into. It's like that's how you create a pressure gradient. And so, really, it's backwards science. But to think the whole Earth is moving up is just—it's pretty hard to swallow that one too. It's pretty impossible to really fully comprehend. I mean, not really impossible to comprehend it, but just it's impossible to like think to become to live with that in mind. To think that that's what's happening when you jump off a cliff. You're getting left behind as the Earth is rising up to meet you. That seems crazy, but really, what's interesting about all that uprising Earth talk is that there is a really good logical point to it, even though the idea is sheer lunacy and seems utterly backwards from what we experience. But there's a weird part of it that actually it makes too much sense, where it's like I can't even debate it, because that's what happens when you add acceleration to a reference frame. You create a density gradient, just like we have here on Earth. But in that case, if it was being created by acceleration, it would be the Earth that's rising up that's creating this density gradient. I'm not even sure if that's what we call it set orientation, but that's kind of getting deeper into it. Because I think if we're in that reference frame, there's no leaving it. You can't really, well, the proof is just in the fact that like you can demonstrate it. Pretty much, you can demonstrate it. You can demonstrate an acceleration creating a density gradient that on a reference frame that resembles what we have here on Earth. So it's actually demonstrable, which is what's fucking mind-boggling. And then there's little factoids like the accelerometer not reading any acceleration while it's falling. And so that would lead you to believe that it's at rest while it's falling. Because when it hits the ground, it gives an upwards reading of 9.8 meters per second, moving upwards. Because that's what the contact force, the weight inside the thing, it hits the bottom sensor. So it's like basically our weight is the result of this upwards force according to the accelerometer. And it makes sense. The way the thing works is just there's a weight inside this thing, and there's sensors all around it. So wherever the weight is being pushed from, then that's where it tells you the acceleration is coming from. If you push it any other direction, it gives you the perfect reading. It's never wrong because that weight's going to get pushed against the sensor, and it's working on the whole reality of physics, which is like when you add acceleration to a reference frame, whatever's dense inside that reference frame pushes in the direction where the acceleration is coming from. So that's why the accelerometer is always right, because there's a weight inside of it, and when you push on it, the weight gets pressed against the sensor where the force is coming from. The thing is, when that thing sits on the ground, the weight inside there pushes down on the bottom sensor, and it gives it an upwards acceleration reading. I mean, it makes sense how that thing works, but it's like, so that means, I mean, it's hard to swallow the fact that the ground would be pushing us up at 9.8 meters per second, but But that's just what the thing is telling you. I mean, you don't have to believe the thing. But I can't really even argue with it because, in the sense that it's that check it out. Like with these astronauts, they do their like fucking vomit comment, where they like go fucking parabolic flight. They go up and they turn off the plane engine, and then they fall, and then they're able to float inside the plane and do like flippy NASA like tricks, where they're like doing somersaults in midair while they're falling. I don't think. I think if, for one thing, I think if there was a downward acceleration occurring right there in that instance, those astronauts or those people in that plane would not be able to float like that. How they're floating, they would be pressed against the highest point in that plane. If there was a downward acceleration being exerted on them, they wouldn't float. They'd be pushed against the highest point in that plane because it would be a downward acceleration pushing on them. But instead, they're floating and they're able to do their somersaults because they're at rest. The Earth is rising up to meet them. They're floating. They're not being pressed against the highest point in the plane where the acceleration would be pressing on them from. They wouldn't be able to float like that if that's what was happening, if they were accelerating towards the ground. And that's why the accelerometer doesn't show you any reading while it's falling, because there's nothing acting on it at that point. So there's actually no acceleration happening according to the accelerometer, and according to the people in the plane that are floating, because they wouldn't be floating if there was an acceleration happening. They would be pressed against the fucking highest point in that plane. So it'd be pushing down on them, and that plane would be pushed against them. The acceleration would be coming from above them, pushing them down, and it would give an accelerometer, the same reading too. If there was an acceleration being applied to whatever falls towards whatever is appearing to fall, but it really just becomes this thing where it's like, are you going to accept what the results are telling you? Because it's such a fucking crazy thing to have to accept, really. But the fact that it's demonstrable is what really gets me. And it's when I finally realized, I'm like, oh, this is actually something you can't even really debate. I mean, other than just on grounds of, well, it's just crazy, but that's okay. But still, that's not a good enough argument for me. If it can be demonstrated, if it's demonstrable, then it's like, then you kind of just end up in the same situation. Well, what are you going to demonstrate? That's better. That makes more sense. And for me, that was when I really became like an uprising earther. But I didn't want to like claim that online because people hate that. Because and I understand too. Because when I first discovered that the Earth was actually not spinning, and we're not in motion around the sun, I was relieved. It made me feel a sense of relief. And so I didn't want to accept the idea that it could be in motion that's causing our orientation. Because it just seems like crazy talk, But when I started realizing the argument actually has merit, and it's demonstrable in the sense of where you can add an acceleration to the reference frame, and you can demonstrate a density gradient that resembles what we have here. So, in my opinion, that's called demonstrable science right there. You can actually say, look, this is what could be happening, because we can prove that if this whole thing that we're in here, Earth, is a reference frame, and if it were to be accelerating at a perfect God-given, speed or whatever, just to set the orientation, that could be what's happening, because we can demonstrate that by accelerating a reference frame and creating the same density gradient that we have here on Earth. So it's actually demonstrable. But it's just the results are just so heavy duty for people to. It's hard for people to really accept that. And that's understandable in my opinion. Even though I won't argue that it's wrong, because I think it makes more sense to me than the opposite explanation, which was like the fact that there's a downward acceleration that can't be measured. That's dumb. I don't like when things that can't be measured and I have to accept it anyways. That's irritating for me. But yeah, I also don't like being made fun of by my fellow flat earthers, so that's why I don't usually talk about it. But that's lame, so that's why I'm talking about it. Shit. And I just wonder why there's not more people like talking about it in like science. I guess there is. Science, physics actually does acknowledge this. It's called normal force. It's normal. The thing I'm talking about is called normal force because it's so normal. And, then we had this fictitious force. For me, fictitious means fake, and normal means real. They call it normal force. contact force of the ground. And that's probably why they say it's made for use over a flat, non-rotating Earth. Notice how they don't say stationary in the NASA documents. They say made for use over a flat, non-rotating Earth. They don't say stationary. Because when it gets down to brass tacks, where they have to actually say the truth about what's being done, because it has to be known for what you're doing. You can't make up a story and then have that apply to your real life thing that you're doing. That's why when it gets down to brass tacks, they say made for use over a flat, non-rotating Earth, because that's what they're doing. They understand what physics shows. It doesn't show that we're stationary. It shows that we have an orientation. There's a vector here. That's what it shows. But yeah, it is kind of funny. It is awfully darn funny to think that the ground fell up to hit you in the head. I used to think it was funny just thinking like, maybe if there's a big hole through the earth, I'd fall all the way through the earth and I'd be falling up out of the ground face down. I'd be upside down on the other side of the world. I'd be falling up out of the ground face down. People would be like, what the fuck just happened? That boy came falling up out of the ground face down. He must have fallen all the way from the United States. They're all in China, right? Ching chong choi choi. Sorry about the racial misappropriation. I just can't speak Chinese. I can't imagine learning to speak Chinese and learn how to write Chinese. That's the main thing that would be fucking. It's so overwhelming. See, the Chinese, they do give me the impression of a little bit older of a society, even though not really. I think basically the human condition here on Earth, it's pretty young. It gives me the impression of a population that was thrown into the world and had to figure shit out that was already here, like technology and tools and shit that was already here. We got thrown into the world and we had to figure it all out. And we're still really immature. Like, we're not wise yet. Our society is just stupid. That's why the stuff that we make nowadays is cheap and plastic and falls apart, and we don't know how to run the place. But it was run perfectly before. Like, there was wise people that used to live here. They're not here anymore, and we're not related to them because we lost all that information. We don't know how to do that the way we know how to do things. Although we have our hands on some fucking amazing technology, but we're still not capable of the things that they did back in the past. And so the stuff that we have to look at from our ancestors is way more brilliant and just impossible to explain versus the stuff that we have nowadays seems pretty fucking high tech, but it's like, but we still have our minds are still like not as evolved as I would expect for having such brilliant ancestors. I mean, it gives me the impression of like a batch of humans that were started off not that long, like a few hundred years ago. We're still like in our teenage years as a society. We're like just figuring things out. We're like caught up on these like petty, these fucking dumb dead ends, where it's like greed and fucking that kind of shit, where it's like that's what's running the show. I mean, that's really dumb. That's lowbrow. It's not wise. Why don't we have like wise people in charge of what? I mean, How did this? It's like it was just a big fucking free for all, and that's how we ended up with this situation. Where it's just like there's no wisdom in place. It's not. It's not happening. It's the evidence of either the end of a society or just a really young society that was handed a bunch of stuff that they didn't quite understand, and we just had to wing it. We were using technology and tools that we didn't quite understand, and we probably still don't. That's what my opinion is, because I mean, after looking at all the mud flood and Tartarian shit, all that, there's a lot of conjecture and all that, but it's like you have to accept that like what you're looking at is stuff that had to have been built by giants or like a different race of people altogether. And it's like, why? Like, you look at it and it's like, this our ancestors are simple, fucking cowboys, whatever. It's like they didn't build like this, dude. That shit gets left out of our history. It's like, oh, there was just like a fucking architect, a brilliant engineer on every street corner. You could have a contest in every little town in the United States, and you could find a fucking engineer that could build a Capitol building or one of these courtrooms. I mean, it's like that shit's just brilliant. I mean, there's no way that was just like inherent knowledge back in the day, or if it was, and it would still be. There's no way we lost that. I mean, that doesn't make sense to me. That's not what a wise society would allow to happen. You know, it's like we're just acting like little kids, little brats. Our collective mentality is not wise, and that's why I'm tripping on this lately. I'm like, I think the best evidence of a reset is just the general mentality of the human population is really immature, and there's no wisdom, and so like it just makes me think, well, why would that have happened? How would you lose wisdom if you've gained wisdom? It doesn't. You don't lose it. You know, it can't be trained out of your genetics. I mean, it's something that it's like inherent. Like you don't just it doesn't get washed away. Is what I'm saying. Like the evidence we have to look at from societies gone past. I mean, we're not related to them. It's what it seems like to me. That knowledge has been completely lost, and it's like the stuff going on with all that like made the slightest clue of. I'm not confident in the conjecture that I get behind it. I think just to like some stuff. I think the star forts were like water purification places. Maybe I think that makes sense to me because water takes on like the crisp like the on a micro level, water takes on shapes like it's really sort of water has memory or whatever. And if you were to channel water through these beautiful like shapes, how they have those shapes of the starports, I think that would purify the water, or it would have some effect on the water because it's always near water whenever you see the starports, or they're in the water sometimes. I think it might have functioned as some kind of water for purification plant of sorts. I don't know. I mean, it did, the whole thing about them being like battle like battalion like like it was built for like this for defense. Like I don't think that story checks out. They might have used them for that or whatever, but I don't think they built them. But here's the thing: I think I think we're living in like a terrarium where we just have like batches of people that are just introduced into it, and it's like we're an experiment, like or something. Because I don't know, man. The giants didn't build with bricks. They wouldn't have. They would have been too small. I think there was a civilization of people that came through here that were brick builders. That they came maybe after the giants, but like there's like a few different civilizations that have lived here, and it's like I don't know. To me, I just get the impression that we're not that old. Our society's still pretty young. I don't know. What do you think? Yes, you can have your seat, baby. I love you. Do you see any wild animals?
No, not
No. Batteries, yeah. Well, bricks can hold charge. It's crazy. And then we have all the shit with the fucking, the catacombs and all the bones and shit down there. It's like I think that might have been. I've heard some good theories about that. I think, and I've seen evidence of it too, where it's like they could have been storing energy in the bones. That could have been powering the city. They had like you know, some way of tapping into it. It could be an energy bank. I mean, why? It just seems weird that it's beyond weird that they would organize the bones in that way, in that fashion down there. There must have been some practical reason for that being done because it's just so morbid and bizarre. And like, I mean, there's just millions of bones that have just been organized and all put in neat little patterns. It's just so fucking weird. I mean, that shit, dude. There's no way that's a psyop. You know what I mean? That's just like some shit that we have to deal with that we just can't really make sense of. They tell some story. All you know, after the plague, they didn't know what to do with all the bodies, and it's like, I don't know, dude. It just seems pretty fucking weird to me. You think the bones might have been energy systems? I think so. I think it's possible. I just can't imagine like doing that just for the sake of art or something. I don't think people have ever been that twisted, really. Maybe I don't know, but I think it would have some practicality. There must have been some reason why it was done like that, and I just feel like we're looking at things the wrong way usually. Like when you see at the first glance when you see something, because our society is dumb. We're not gifted with all the information, and we've been you know we haven't figured it out yet. And so we see things and at first glance we might think might think much of it, but I think there was really advanced people living here before that knew this world on a different level, that were able to do things that would otherwise look like magic to us. Like if you look at any of the old stuff that's left behind, like the fucking like I saw a show recently where they're talking about the Mona Lisa and the way the paint was made. It's made in a way that they can't even replicate today. It's like there's they don't know how it was done. They don't know how that art was made. They can't figure it out. You can't you can't get the same the way the pigment in the paint was made. It was just like it was impossible to have done back then. And so they had some technology that we lost. I mean, it's like why is it that every piece of history there's some like amazing technology that was lost? I mean, how does that's not how things normally play out. There's been like resets. That's what I'm thinking. Seems to make the most sense because that's why a lot of the history doesn't make sense. I mean, I think a lot of the history might just be borrowed history, like the people that we just picked up like history books that were left from before and just applied that to us. And there was like some point that we just sort of segued into the storyline. Like that's what I wonder is like where does the real story start? Like as far as like like say the presidents of the United States. It's like because I've been around for a few of them and I know those parts are true. At least that much information is right. Does it go like that all the way back? I mean, is each president just the way maybe the story's being told differently, but were they all real? I mean, were they all like our ancestors? I mean, is that how this is all played out? It seems to me like maybe not. There might be some part of the story where it just diverges off into some other like I don't know. The story of the 1800s doesn't make any sense to me. Like the stuff that was achieved and the stuff that we're supposed to believe that went down during that period is just like what? It doesn't add up. And the photo evidence that we have from it is just it's very suspect. It tells a different story. And so yeah, I mean that's one of the things that really fucks with my head. Because nowadays, I mean, it's just like it seems like I mean, I never would have noticed that until it was. It's one of those things where it's like you don't notice it until it's pointed out to you. You're like, this, how would they have done this back in that time period? And you sit there and think like the Philadelphia like municipal building. It's like, how would they have done this in the 1800s? There's like a stone wall in that building that's like 20 something feet thick. How in the fuck are you getting a rock like that? And how are you setting that? I mean, what are you kidding me? With horsepower and like even steaming pump. I mean, you can't get a rock like that and move it. So what's the real story? I mean, just one little piece of evidence, and it's like that's just like some serious. And then you find out that they don't have the blueprints or the engineering for that place. I mean, I just recently found that out. You can't find the blueprints for these places, and that's why it doesn't add up. It's just like you look at the building, and you're like, how do they build this in that time period? Well, nobody knows because the story doesn't check out. It doesn't have any actual proof to support the story. There's no blueprints. And that's like some serious evidence to really just ponder like why don't they have the the specs like how come they can't show us how this was built. I mean because it's brilliant. I mean the way the architecture like if you look at the Philadelphia municipal the city hall or whatever the building down there it's fucking insane. And like the inside of the building I mean it's done to such an extent that it's pretty hard to believe. I don't know, man. I just that kind of shit fucks with my head too, because a lot of people just be like, "Oh yeah, so and so built this," and just tell the story like it's just duh. They knew how to do it, but there's no blueprints, so the story doesn't check out. So I feel like we're actually onto something, and I think it just indicates there was resets here. We're like part of an experiment. I think the American experiment. Yeah, there's like 12 different types of marble. On those statues. Yeah, but I guess marble is really soft, though. It's pretty easy to carve. But still, nonetheless, that doesn't mean it's like, I mean, I don't know. I mean, maybe Medusa was real. She was turning people to stone. All right, I gotta go. Thanks for stopping by, you guys. I love you.